Hello my comic heads, just a designer Cub Convict bringing you guys and gals another video. So we've come to that point again where I need to do this quick video vlog or vlog. I want it to be a bit longer this time. However, just let you know, tomorrow unfortunately I will not be live streaming once again. Now it's nothing big in regards to Rio, it's not Rio being sick or anything like that, so thank God for that. However, it is a few problems we've had. As you all know, if you haven't been watching my previous live streams, the last live stream or the stream before, I ended up having to leave early because I had an electrician that was coming, and they eventually did turn up, and they came a little bit earlier than what I expected, and I ended up having to abruptly end the stream due to obviously even testing the electrics. So, upon the electrician being, I wasn't 100% sure when it was going to be, but they gave me a call today and confirmed it this evening, which is why I'm doing this video now, in order to say that they needed to send out someone to come and work on the electrics tomorrow. So we've got someone coming, however, it's going to be a big job, and it could be the possibility they're going to be here all day. So we have a bit of an issue. Obviously, they're going to need to be able to turn the electric off and do testing and stuff. So it means obviously I'm not going to be able to have the PC or anything on. I'll be playing a bit of Fortnite there in the back. And yeah, it's going to be a problem and he needs to come and fix it. So there's not a great deal. Also, don't forget, Easter holidays is upon us, and we do go into Easter week or 2 week on Monday. So again, Rio's going to be off, and I'll be going back to either doing recordings or live streams once I can figure out how to do it where I can not get him to pick up on the mic and stuff, and do maybe a couple hours on an evening. So bear with me. It is been a bit of an annoying month this month, but there's not a great deal, and obviously I can't, I can only do what I can, what I have, and at the moment I just, unless I could do this full time, there's not a great deal I can do about it when obviously we come into these points where I have this issue. But my true convicts and convicts know obviously the struggles of what it's like doing what I'm doing, and obviously you understand. Salute to you. Thank you very much for understanding. On the other side of it, they're going to be here all day doing that, and I also have the police coming tomorrow. Nothing bad. I'm not being arrested. I'm not being called by the real true Kappa convict and getting arrested or anything. What it is, basically, there's been a situation with Rio when he plays in the back garden. So if you don't know and you've not seen my vlogs, my back garden consists of just what we used to have a greenhouse, and we used to have we have, well, not that we used to have, but we still have it, is a 6-foot trampoline in the back. Now Rio loves his nature and he loves to go out and play. He loves to go in the back garden, have some fun, jump on his trampoline, and he gets very excited. Because Rio doesn't speak, he tends to go and do this quite often, and really get close. He has no idea of personal space and stuff and things like that, so he will come right up to you and flap his hands and get all excited and stuff for people and whatnot as well when he knows you pretty well. And he loves to play. He loves his nature. He loves to play out, and I love him to enjoy himself and go out and feel safe and be okay and not have any issues and problems. So, bit of a quick brief story. This area used to be pretty quiet because we just got these few houses on this side from down that side up here. We had at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got like 5 original houses, including this one being a 6. And these are the original houses of the street. Now, back in the day, I got told apparently this was a pretty rough area, and a lot of the houses all got knocked down, and all the ruffians got moved away and obviously moved from this area, so it became more of a quiet area. Behind us, just over the road there, we've got more old folks home bungalows as well. So we've not got really too many people on either side that are any problem. However, they have been doing new builds further down the road, and there was a private build that got taken over by the council, and the council ended up taking over these builds, and building obviously all this new estates and stuff that's come up down further down the street. Obviously, more houses have introduced more people to come back to the neighborhood, and yet we've had not really too many issues as such, but you could just walk down the street and there was people, this police car seems to quite go down there quite often. And I've heard like a woman and a guy ranting at each other consistently, and obviously police have been called out to them on numerous occasions for whatever reason. But yes, it's not been too bad. It's been all right. I've also heard like a drone being flown up and down the street. I don't know what happened to that now because it stopped doing it, but you could hear it like very early hours in the morning. And it's a drone someone's flying about down the street, and then you've got this guy on a motorbike who drives like an idiot down the street. So, as you can tell, obviously we've got a few issues and problems here and there. However, that's nothing to do with obviously what Rio's experiencing, but let me explain. So, Rio goes and plays out in the back garden. In the back garden, he's got a 6-foot trampoline. He's going out, he enjoys his time and he plays. Beyond that, where the fence is, if you've seen it, I put a fence up there now. There is a few slats missing from the fence because I wanted to get a table saw to cut down pieces to fit them in flush so that they weren't like sticking out or looking awkward or odd or out of place. Even though I can get to the point now where I might just do that and just stick on some extra pieces so that they can be attached to that, and there will be, sticking out from the fence. So you'll have fence there, and then they'll kind of pop out of the other sides, sort of thing. Because I've not been able to get hold of this table saw I wanted, and I've just not had the money, to be honest. I've paying for everything. I've had to pay for a new washer and start paying monthly for that, and I don't get a lot of money. For all the things I've got, I scrimp and scrape. I've just been very lucky to have been able to get money from here and there and everywhere, and sort of get these little doorstep loans and stuff once in a while, and that's helped for paying like the PlayStation 5 and the GPU and stuff, and having to pay that off each week, and then eventually getting to a point, because I'm not rich. I'm far beyond that. If anything, I'm just barely breaking even, but I do what I do, and I obviously be careful with what I have in order to make sure that I'm good and that, things are covered. But yeah, it's not been easy at all doing what I do, and I don't get no support from Catherine at all. It's just I do what I do for myself, and I get Rio's money, and I do what good for Rio's money for Rio, and what's his money is his, what's my money is mine, and I keep both of us separate, spend his money only on him, and I only get what I get for me, and I have to pay for his food and my stuff and my food, and Catherine does whatever she pleases. Is generally how it goes at the moment, even though I've explained to her. Anyway, I don't want to digress too much into that. So going back to the problem, so Rio plays in the back garden, and while he's enjoying his time in the back garden, there is a tree, and kids have been going to that tree and congregating on that tree, climbing the tree there. Not only that, they started sticking rope swings and stuff to the tree, and they go and congregate there quite often. Kids go there, not even teenagers, going there to smoke, going there to chat and what have you, mess about. I've heard kids as old as 10 years old talking about getting the knobs out and sex and God knows what else. And it's like, what the hell's going on here? But I've never really bothered anything. I've just keep ourselves to ourselves, keep our own to our own sort of thing. And, I'm quite happy as long as Rio's safe and he can go and play. However, there's been times where Rio likes to look, and when he's jumping on trampoline, he looks over because he sees kids playing. Rio likes to watch kids play. He likes to play himself. So sometimes he'll go over to the fence and look through, or he'll jump on the trampoline and he'll look over. we used to have a climbing frame he used to climb on top of, and he used to look over the fence. He even tried sitting on the fence to watch, and I had to dismantle part of his climbing frame and bring him away from that so that he wasn't going and, falling over or going over the fence and going to where they are. The problem is, with Rio being autistic and going and not understanding and the things that he does, they call him names. Now, I don't believe in anyone calling anyone a name, regardless of if they're fat, thin, whatever color. I don't, no one should be ever called anything, and no one should ever have to suffer to hate, abuse, or racism, or any of the above. And unfortunately, it's been the case for Rio where kids have called him a S word. They've called, they've called him a S pack word. And they've called him the R word. And stuff like that. And, it annoys me so much to have little kids, like kids that be like 7 to about 4 years old, come up to me and say, what's wrong with your son? And then I've explained, and I said, so and so. I've been hearing people call him, he's dumb and this and that and the other. And I'm like, what? Oh, well, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, no, he's not. He's autistic. I've even had another girl. She was about 7, and she said, "Yeah, my brother's autistic," which could be true because there is a lot of autism children on these streets. Because when the bus comes, which is now a taxi at the moment, there is at least 4 or 5 children that are autistic that all share the same taxi. So there is children on here that are autistic and do get support and go to the same school as Rio, and they come and collect them in the morning because there used to be a minibus that used to come. They've had a few problems with bus drivers leaving, so they've had to start getting taxis to come out for them instead. So there is people on here that are autistic. So it wasn't her just saying, "Oh, I'm just going to say my brother's autistic." It probably is true. There is more than just Rio on here that is autistic. However, when it comes to the children, obviously when they get to like 10, 14 years old and they're calling him names and stuff and being rude to him, that's something I don't like. And that's something I'll nip in the bud straight away if I see it. Now, there's been another issue where I've seen potatoes. I've gone outside and I've opened the door and I saw a bag with potato in it. I've seen a couple of potatoes in the garden before as well. And I'm like, where are these potatoes coming from? Which has been really, really odd. And it's not been stuff, luckily, while Rio's been there that I'm aware of. But obviously, because I'm quite often cleaning and stuff and doing stuff, or I'm trying to record and do stuff, and obviously trying to watch Rio at the same time and do everything as well, makes it very, very difficult to always be there and around at those times. So there's come to a point where Catherine saw them a few I think it was a week or so back, and they were throwing small stones into the garden towards Rio, and they were throwing small stones through the slots, through the missing pieces of wood, throwing them at Rio or through towards Rio in the garden. And I went straight out and I looked over there and they soon shifted. And I said, yeah, if I catch you doing that again, you'll know about it. And they soon left. And we didn't see them for days later, for days and days, if not weeks. And they never come back. I've not really seen those specific ones come back as of yet, but yet there has been more. And a few days ago, there were teenagers back there swinging on the tree, and they were all got the hoods up and stuff. And it's that kind of shady mentality of putting hoods up, and they've got scarves over the faces and stuff and things like that. And you're like, yeah, it's the kind of mentality that you're like, it's not that cold. We don't live in Siberia. We don't need to, sort of situation. And with all the problems and issues that's been going on, because we did have a greenhouse prior, and they did smash some of the windows. It was really, really dark at night, and I heard a crash of glass and went out to the fence, because at that point the fence wasn't even there, it was just bars. And one of the neighbors, like near towards the end, who's moved now, they said, "Oh, I know some of them." And obviously I said, can you just speak to their parents and just explain what they've done? So they hopefully passed on the message to the children's parents who does it now. Unfortunately, the wind, it does get extremely windy in the back, so the wind did do a lot of damage, and it's only aluminium frame on the greenhouse. So, there'd been a lot of it were being broken by the wind as well. So at that point, I was like, well, it's broken anyway, and that's what pushed me as well to put up the fence. I wanted to put the fence there, I wanted to block it off and make sure obviously Rio was safe and that he was good as well. However, like I said, we've got the police coming out tomorrow because I want to report it, because I reported it to the council and I explained to the council. The council came out and said they won't do naught to it. They sent out a guy from the agricultural side of the council, and they said that they aren't allowed to just cut down trees, but they are allowed to look at it in an agricultural sense, that if there was anything done to the tree, that they have to look after the trees and make sure the trees are healthy and stuff. So they said that because they put them the rope swing on, it's been cutting into the limb of the tree. So there is a part of it they might have to cut off that limb in order to preserve the rest of the tree, so on and so forth. So I was like, oh, okay. Because I said to him, is there no way you could just cut off that limb and come off the other limb? Because I don't really want them to cut down trees, especially if they're there for the birds and the animals and stuff. I'm a very nice tree person, I love trees and I love nature. But I did say, can you just cut that one arm off and maybe cut off the other one, because a big thick one that, again, they could attach to, and they have recently attached another rope to that one, to that side, because they come out and they cut off the other one, the other swing that they put on there before, and they cut it off. But they've come in and have now placed another one in its place on the other branch, which is the other one I wanted cutting, because the other parts of the tree are in a shape that you wouldn't really be able to tie a rope swing to, because it would just basically be rocking against the body of the tree. It won't be something you could easily manipulate a rope and have it away from the tree itself. It would always be grinding against the tree and be much more difficult to use. But I've told them, and they've not really done naught with it. They've not done anything. Apart from cut down the rope from that, they didn't cut off that limb. They haven't done anything with the other part tree. They said they were going to keep sending people around to keep checking on the area, just to make sure that there was no one there, and if there is, to move people on, keep them out that area. And they've not done anything. They've not kept at that end of their bargain. So this is why I've now introduced the police. I've reported it because they did say before, to report it as antisocial behaviour. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to not bother phoning them. I'm just going to report it to police first, get them to come. So they're going to come some point, as well as the electrician tomorrow, come and have a look at the tree and the back and kind of assess the situation. And then obviously I'll discuss with them to what we can do in future to make it a much more harder and more deterrent of an area, so that they're not going to keep on going back and forth and making difficult for Rio to play in his own garden. Because as it gets to the summer months, it's obviously going to be more difficult, because as the summer months hit and Easter holidays and what have you, they're going to congregate to that area more often. And then I've got to then think, can I let Rio in the garden to go play when he wants to go play, when I can't afford really to go out every day, which I can't afford to do every day? We go maybe once or twice a week out somewhere. then it becomes a really, really difficult thing to deal with because I don't want him to go out there and get abuse hurled at him. And I've just, you know, we've just got that Starlink thing. I don't want that getting broken by people throwing stuff at it and what have you. Now, I don't leave it outside at the moment. I do always bring it in. But there is going to be a point where I do want to eventually have it fixed, either to a point where I can leave it outside or to a point where it's going to be fixed on the house. I don't know. It depends on how I can do it. At the moment, I just don't have the money to do anything big like build, putting up and having someone come out, drill a hole and affix it to the building itself and whatnot. And with the situation with the way Catherine is, and obviously the house, the way the situation of the house being in, because if you look around, you'll see the house. There's not really had a great deal done to it. I've always wanted to do more with the house and fix it up and make it look nice and stuff, but because of the situation always with Catherine, I've never known from one day or 1 week to another what I want to do with it. And this is why I've always wanted to get big on YouTube. So obviously, if I got big and I had the money to go full time, I could do stuff like that, or I could move and make a home myself and make my own home and, enjoy it and love it as I wanted to. But, this is the hope and dreams of someone who just doesn't seem to be able to make it each and every week, but try my best. And we do what we do. And I know people out there do support and try the best as well. So shout and salute to you. Anyway, this is becoming to a long, lengthy, yes, Rio's off, electricians can be tomorrow, no live stream, to a bit of a rant and police issue that I'm dealing with. So, yeah. So I will apologise. It is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. We will be back. Like I said, Rio will be off on Monday for 2 weeks. So this week is going to be the last week. So we'll be doing a live stream on Friday. But after that, obviously, we'll be back to the usual, either just doing recordings or trying to live stream on an evening if I can get it, so I can get it where the microphone doesn't pick up Rio's music and gets me demonetized all the time. Otherwise, it becomes a kind of pointless thing of every time I do it, I'm going to get a strike saying, oh, you're being demonetized. Not really like a copyright strike that it ends the channel, but a demonetized channel where I never get no revenue or ads placed on because of the fact that Rio's got music on or he's playing something that gets copyright striked straight away and either taken down or claimed, sort of thing. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to go because I'm about to run out of memory on my phone, but it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Rio's safe. He's more than happy. I just want to make sure things are put in place before anything else goes on in the future. And yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, it is Anakin Convict signing out. As always, I salute to you, my convicts, convicts. Thank you as well to you who joined, Raf, 3v3, all the other people who've joined and are my members. Appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video. Please drop it a like. Let's see how many likes we can get on this video for Rio and obviously him playing in the back garden. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, and yeah, bye for now.